online class by Samagra Shiksha Government of Andhra Pradesh. This is Aruna working as English teacher, Tadamandal, SPSR, Nellore district. Hi students, how are you? I hope you are doing good. As we know, due to this pandemic situation, we started this academic year through online classes and it is running successfully. Please watch online class, children. First, children, let us watch a video related to a moral story written by Sudha Murthy. The story name is How I Taught My Grandmother to Read. Okay, it is about importance of education. Let us watch video, children, and enjoy it.
How I Taught My Grandmother to Read, written by Sudha Murthy. When I was a girl of about 12, I used to stay in a village in North Karnataka with my grandparents. Those days, the transport system was not very good, so we used to get the morning newspaper only in the afternoon. The weekly magazine used to come one day late. All of us would wait eagerly for the bus, which used to come with the papers, weekly magazines and the post. At that time, Triveni was a very popular writer in the Kannada language. She was a wonderful writer. Her style was easy to read and very convincing. Her stories usually dealt with complex psychological problems in the lives of ordinary people and were always very entertaining. Unfortunately for Kannada literature, she died very young. Even now, after 40 years, people continue to appreciate her novels. One of her novels, called Kashi Yatre, was appearing as a serial in the Kannada weekly Karmavira then. It is the story of an old lady and her ardent desire to go to Kashi or Varanasi. Most Hindus believe that going to Kashi and worshipping Lord Vishveshwara is the ultimate punya. This old lady also believed in this, and her struggle to go there was described in that novel. In the story, there was also a young orphan girl who falls in love, but there was no money for the wedding. In the end, the old lady gives away all her savings without going to Kashi. She says, "The happiness of this orphan girl is more important than worshipping Lord Vishveshwara at Kashi." My grandmother, Kristakka, never went to school, so she could not read. Every Wednesday, the magazine would come, and I would read the next episode of this story to her. During that time, she would forget all her work and listen with the greatest concentration. Later, she could repeat the entire text by heart. My grandmother too never went to Kashi, and she identified herself with the novel's protagonist. So, more than anybody else, she was the one most interested in knowing what happened next in the story and used to insist that I read the serial out to her. After hearing what happened next in Kashi Yatre, she would join her friends at the temple courtyard, where we children would also gather to play hide and seek. She would discuss the latest episode with her friends. At that time, I never understood why there was so much of debate about the story. Once I went for a wedding with my cousins to the neighboring village. In those days, a wedding was a great event. We children enjoyed ourselves thoroughly. We would eat and play endlessly, savoring the freedom because all the elders were busy. I went for a couple of days, but ended up staying there for a week. When I came back to my village, I saw my grandmother in tears. I was surprised, for I had never seen her cry, even in the most difficult situations. What had happened? I was worried.
Avva, is everything all right? Are you okay?
I used to call her Avva, which means mother in the Kannada spoken in northern Karnataka. She nodded, but did not reply. I did not understand and forgot about it. In the night after dinner, we were sleeping in the open terrace of the house. It was a summer night and there was a full moon. Avva came and sat next to me. Her affectionate hands touched my forehead. I realized she wanted to speak. I asked her,
What is the matter?
When I was a young girl, I lost my mother. There was nobody to look after and guide me. My father was a busy man and got married again. In those days, people never considered education essential for girls. So I never went to school. I got married very young and had children. I became very busy. Later, I had grandchildren and always felt so much happiness in cooking and feeding all of you. At times, I used to regret not going to school. So I made sure that my children and grandchildren studied well. I could not understand why my 62-year-old grandmother was telling me, a 12-year-old, the story of her life in the middle of the night. But I knew I loved her immensely, and there had to be some reason why she was talking to me. I looked at her face. It was unhappy, and her eyes were filled with tears. She was a good-looking lady who was usually always smiling. Even today, I cannot forget the worried expression on her face. I leaned forward and held her hand.
Avva, don't cry. What is the matter? Can I help you in any way?
Yes, I need your help. You know, when you were away, Karmavira came as usual. I opened the magazine. I saw the picture that accompanies the story of Kashi Yatre, and I could not understand anything that was written. Many times I rubbed my hands over the pages, wishing they could understand what was written, but I knew it was not possible. If only I was educated enough. I waited eagerly for you to return. I felt you would come early and read for me. I even thought of going to the village and asking you to read for me. I could have asked somebody in this village, but I was too embarrassed to do so. I felt so very dependent and helpless. We are well off, but what use is money when I cannot be independent? I did not know what to answer. Avva continued. I have decided I want to learn the Kannada alphabet from tomorrow onwards. I will work very hard. I will keep Saraswati Puja Day during Dussehra as the deadline. That day, I should be able to read a novel on my own. I want to be independent. I saw the determination on her face. Yet, I laughed at her.
Avva, at this age of 62, you want to learn the alphabet? All your hair is grey, your hands are wrinkled. You wear spectacles and you work so much in the kitchen.
Childishly, I made fun of the old lady. But she just smiled. For a good cause, if you are determined, you can overcome any obstacle. I will work harder than anybody, but I will do it. For learning, there is no age bar. The next day onwards, I started my tuition. Avva was a wonderful student. The amount of homework she did was amazing. She would read, repeat, write and recite. I was her only teacher and she was my first student. Little did I know then that one day I would become a teacher in computer science and teach hundreds of students. The Dussehra festival came as usual. Secretly, I bought Kashi Yatre, which had been published as a novel by that time. My grandmother called me to the puja place and made me sit down on a stool. She gave me a gift of a frock material. Then she did something unusual. She bent down and touched my feet. I was surprised and taken aback. Elders never touch the feet of youngsters. We have always touched the feet of God, elders and teachers. We consider that as a mark of respect. It is a great tradition, but today the reverse had happened. It was not correct. She said, I am touching the feet of a teacher, not my granddaughter. A teacher who taught me so well, with so much affection, that I can read any novel confidently in such a short period. Now I am independent. It is my duty to respect a teacher. Is it not written in our scriptures that a teacher should be respected irrespective of the gender and age? I did return namaskara to her by touching her feet and gave my gift to my first student. She opened it and read immediately the title Kashi Yatre by Triveni and the publisher's name. I knew then that my student had passed with flying colors.
Hello everyone.
Children, first of all I want to give you a brief description about 7th class textbook. Here you can see the 7th class textbook on the screen. Blossom 7, English reader class 7, and this year onwards semester method implemented. You have 2 semester books for this academic year, and in first semester you have 4 units. First unit, My Painted House, My Friendly Chicken and Me. Second one, The Turning Point. Third lesson, A Journey Through the Hills and Valleys. Fourth lesson, The Brave Little Bowman. And come to the first lesson, My Painted House, My Friendly Chicken and Me. Already you have learned and you know the theme of this lesson in early classes. Today we will learn the textual grammar part in this unit. My Painted House, My Friendly Chicken and Me. Today we will learn the textual grammar part and listening part. In listening there was a story given that is story about Ubuntu. Okay. Today in this class we will learn 2 topics. One is grammar part and listening part. Okay. First we will go through the grammar part. My dear students, in grammar part we will learn apostrophe, what is apostrophe and definition of apostrophe, and apostrophe for possessions and apostrophe for contraction. That is one topic, and another one present perfect tense and the definition of present perfect tense and usage and syntax. Everything we will learn in this class, children. Okay, are you ready? Yes. Let's move on this topic. Grammar. A. Read the following sentences from the story. Read the following sentences from the story. These sentences are taken from the story, my dear students. First one, I don't know why, but individual people do not call anything beautiful. Second one, no one's house is as good as my mother's. Third one, he tries to get into everybody's business. The highlighted words use apostrophe. Now guess the use of apostrophe. Children, these highlighted words use apostrophe. See, observe carefully, children. Don't, once, everybody's. They we mark apostrophe. Apostrophe can be confusing or tricky. Apostrophe can be confusing or tricky. However, they aren't difficult to learn. Sometimes they form possessives and sometimes they form contractions. Here, some tips to remember. Children, it is not at all difficult to identify where we want to keep apostrophe. Here, if we learn possessive forms and contraction forms, it will be easy. So, let us move on. before that, first write down the definition of apostrophe. Okay? Note down in your classwork, children. Please. It is very, very important. Okay? Children, write down in your notes. The two purposes are used to show possession. Second one, used to show contractions of words. First, we learn used to show possession. Okay. The general rule is that the possessive of a singular noun is formed by adding an apostrophe and s, whether the singular noun ends in s or not. What is the general rule, children? Is that the possessive of a singular noun is formed by an adding apostrophe and s, whether the singular noun ends in s or not. Okay. Dear students, what is the rule 1? To form the possessive of a singular noun. Noun means, already you know, noun is a naming part of a person, place, things or idea. And here it is singular. Singular means that there is only one. Only one, we call it as a singular. And it is opposite to have more than one, we call it as a plural one. Okay, singular opposite plural. Singular means one and plural means having more. For example, if the singular noun cat, here the singular noun cat, here only one cat, a cat, has a brush, What cats having? Having a brush. And what is the possessive form? Here the cat's brush. And how we write this word means where we keep the apostrophe. See the example, children. The cat's brush. C-A-T, cat, apostrophe, yes. Why means? Because it is a singular. Cat is a singular one. Here we are taking only one. Who is that one? Here cat. Has brush. So it is the brush. Whose brush? It's cat's brush. So we write cat apostrophe yes. That means most ofly, that means everyone confusing that here whenever we use yes, it is a plural form. But children, C-A-T-S, cats means it is a plural form. But here C-A-T then apostrophe yes means it is a singular form only. It is not plural form. Okay children, are you understand? Children, here you have a doubt. Yes, in case of plural form, where we want to use the apostrophe, isn't it? Okay, now I clarify your doubts. See the another example. Write down in your notes, children. Okay, definitely you want to show your class teacher all these notes. Then in rule 2, for a plural noun ending in s, add only an apostrophe. A plural noun means there is more than one. For example, boy is a singular and boys is plural. Boy is singular and boys is plural. Since one s was already added to make this noun plural, a second s is not added. Example, the 3 girls notebook. The 3 girls notebook. See children, the 3 girls notebook. Here where we use apostrophe? Girls. G-I-R-L-S. Then after S we use apostrophe here. That means children, already we wrote like a plural form. Yes, girls. Girl is a singular, girls is a plural form. So for the plural form, we want to add apostrophe where after S. Here another example here, note the 3 girls, that means 2 S is there. It is wrong. That means already we use yes. That is girls, plural form. And after plural form, after yes we want to apostrophe, it is over. Then no need to write like this. Children, write like this. Children, that means no need to write like the second sentence. The 3 girls, the green color yes sentence is there, no children. That is no need to write like that. The above sentence is correct one. Children, let us discuss some more examples. Then you can understand easily. Okay, note down some more examples. Okay, children. See the image, children. Observe carefully. What are the difference between these 2 images? Here, see the example. Singular possessives. The girl's balloon. The balloon belongs to only one girl. So, where we use apostrophe? Girl, then apostrophe, then S. In the second image, the girl's balloons. The balloons belongs to more than one girl. So, where we use the apostrophe? Girls after. That means yes, after we use apostrophe. Okay, children, note down in your classwork. Children, let's move on another example. See the image, children. John, tall, John's studied, John's car. And can you guess, children, this is a singular possessive form or plural form? Yes, it is a singular one. Here, in this example, only one person is there. Who is that person? Yes, John. All these 3 sentences is telling about John. What is about John? John's tall. That means John is tall. Instead of John is tall, we can write John's tall. Okay. That means here we are telling about John. And John's studied. John has studied. Instead of John has, we can write John's studied. In third sentence, John's car. The car of John. Whose car is this? Yes, the car of John. Here, where we are using the apostrophe? Here, John is a singular person here. So, according to our rule, John, then apostrophe, then yes. Okay, children, I hope you understand all these examples. Children, let us see some more examples. Note down in your classwork, children. Singular nouns, plural nouns. Look at the table. If it is a common noun, add apostrophe S. That means noun verb plus apostrophe plus S. This is the format in singular nouns. See examples. Dog plus apostrophe plus S. Dog's house. Books, words. Girls, dolls. Birds, chicks. Cars, engine. Sister's room. Jim's pen. And come to plural nouns. What is the format? Yes. Noun verb plus S plus apostrophe. This is the format. Boys, then we use apostrophe. Ball, boys ball. Tables, legs. Girls, hands. And if the noun doesn't end in s, add. Where? Women. Again, plural noun, noun plus apostrophe plus s. Women's bag. Children's dolls. Men's shoes. This is the format of singular nouns and the plural nouns. Write down in your classwork, children, and don't write mistakes. Observe carefully and enter in your classworks. My dear students, up to we discussed the rules of the possessive of a singular noun and plural nouns. And we go through the examples also. Now come to the second feature. Used to show contractions of words. Used to show contractions of words. Write in your note, children. Note down. In contraction form, how we use the apostrophe. You can use contractions to shorten a word by removing one letter or more and substituting an apostrophe in the same spot. Children, once again I repeat, you can use contractions to shorten a word by removing one letter or more and substituting an apostrophe in the same spot. Okay, children. Now we go through the examples. Okay. Contractions. A contraction is a shorter way to say two words. Example, is plus not is equal isn't. Actually, children, is plus not is not. But here, by using the contraction, that means by using the apostrophe, here we are removing one letter. What is that letter? O. And we are adding apostrophe there in between N and T. And how we pronounce that word? Isn't. Is plus not isn't. Okay, children, understand it, ma? An apostrophe will fill the space of the missing letters. Here, the apostrophe will fill the space of the missing letters. Here, in the missing letter, we are filling apostrophe. Okay. Here, see some more examples and note down in your notes, ma. My dear students, first this part, you want to listen the pronunciation, how I pronounce the word. Okay. Here, three formats there: normal, contraction and pronunciation. Here, in normal, I plus am. I am. In the contraction form, here we write I and a letter is missing, that is A. Instead of letter, we keep apostrophe and am. And how we pronounce this word? I. I. Next second, he is or he has. His. He is or he has. His. She is. She has. She's. Or plus not. Aunt. Aunt. Here the word, the letter O missing. Instead of O, we keep apostrophe there. Is plus not. Isn't. Is plus not isn't. Was plus not wasn't. Wasn't. I plus have. Here children observe two letters are missing, that is H and A. So how we pronounce? I. 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 Next one, you have. You. We have. We. We have. We. They have. They. They. See the pronunciation, children. Here the letters is missing, and instead of letters we use apostrophe, and the pronunciation also changing. Observe carefully and note down carefully, children. Okay. Next we move. Next examples. I had or I would. For the both we use to write like this, and we pronounce the same. I. Children, when we learn alphabet letters, I. Children, when we learn alphabet letters A, B, C, D, but come to the pronunciation in the phonetic language, the D pronounced as da. I. Da. Okay, so we pronounce like this. I had or I would, I'd. He had, he would, he'd. He'd. We had, we would, we'd. We'd. I will, I'll. You will, you'll. He will, he'll. I should have, I should you. I should not, I shouldn't. Okay, children, note down without any mistake. You note down in your classwork. Children, up to we discuss apostrophe in possessive form and apostrophe in contraction form. We learn the rules and regulations, and we go through some examples also. Come to the textual exercise. Write the contraction for each pair of words. For example, should not, shouldn't. And here they given 4 questions: or not, on. 1 is done for you. Remaining 3 you write down the answers, children. In the textbook only you write down. Okay. In B, complete each sentence. Write the possessive forms of the noun given in the brackets. Example, the baby's doll is a new brand one. Baby, babies. Okay, one is done for you, and the 2 write down your own, children. Okay, I hope you write correctly. Children, a small assignment. Here 15 contraction forms are given. I think already you guess. Yes. Here already I given contraction forms. Then you want to write the normal format. Okay. With the help of the notes, you can find out the answers easily. Note down and don't write mistakes. Okay. After you write the answers, send to your class teacher or subject teacher. Don't forget, children. Okay, children. Children, up to we learn apostrophe in possessive form and apostrophe in contraction form. And now we will learn present perfect tense. What is present perfect tense? And when it use, that means usage of present perfect tense, syntax and everything. Here are some examples given after we discuss this example. First, we know the rules when we use the present perfect tense. First one, we use the present perfect tense to talk about completed action. That means the action, it is about completed. That means, see the example, Charlie is eating the sandwich. That means Charlie is eating now. Charlie has eaten the sandwich. That means here the action completed. Eat, ate, eaten. Eaten means it's over. Okay, the action, here the action completed. Okay, children, note down in your classwork, children. What is the first one? We use the present perfect tense to talk about completed actions. Example, Charlie has eaten the sandwich. So the second one you write down. Okay. The first one is for your understanding. I am telling that example. Okay. Charlie has eaten the sandwich. And second one, we use the present perfect tense to talk about actions that started in the past and continue to the present. To talk about actions that started in the past and continue to the present. That means here the action is started in the past. For example, I have grown flowers for 2 years. Here, when, in which year? In 2003 and now 2005. Already the action was started in 2003 and still it is going. That is in 2005 also that the flowers are grown by that boy. Okay, that means action didn't complete. It is still going on. Okay, children? Children, see the structure. What of the present perfect tense? That means syntax. Write down in your note, children. It is very, very important. Once again I am saying, in positive form, what is the structure? Subject plus has or have plus V3. The verb form is in V3 form. That is past participle. Subject. Under subject, what are the subject comes? He, she, it, I, you, we, you, they. When these subjects will come, what are the helping verbs we use? Has. He has, she has, it has. I have, you have, we have, you have, they have. And the verb form V3 only. Okay. That means, children, for the singular, if subject is singular, we use has. In case of plural, we use have. Okay. And come to negative form. And what is the structure in negative form? Write down, children. Subject plus has or have not plus V3. Subject plus has or have not plus V3. He has not started. We can pronounce like this also. He hasn't. She hasn't. It hasn't. I have not. I haven't. I haven't started. You haven't. We haven't. You haven't. They haven't. The verb form is always in V3 only. That is past participle. Okay, children? It is very easy to remember, children. Okay. Please note down in your classwork, ma. Children, come to question form. And what is the structure in question form? Has or have plus subject plus V3. Children, observe carefully here. In subject part we use has or have. Then we use subject plus V3. Has he started? Has she started? Has it started? Have I started? Have you started? Have we started? Have they started? For example, have you done it? Here, children, observe carefully. Have you done it? After that, we want to mark question mark there. Okay. Has she done it? Then question mark. In the negative form, in the positive form, we use full stop there. Okay. The end of the sentence, we use full stop. Here, the end of the sentence, we use the question mark. Okay. This is question form. Okay, children. Children, write down some more example. We have played football on the ground. Write down in your notes, ma. We have played football on the ground. Second one, he has written a letter to her friend. Third one, they have worked in the field. Fourth one, she has sung a song in the classroom. Fifth one, I have planted some plants in my garden. Children, this is about the present perfect tense and usage of present perfect tense and structure. Now come to the textual exercise. In your textbook, here positive form and positive short form given. That means if a sentence it is in positive form, how we write positive short form, that is in contracted form. Already we learned contracted form, children. Okay. I have played. And how it pronounced, children? Can you guess? Yes. I played. You have worked. You will work. He has written. He is written. She has walked. She's walked. It has rained. It's rained. We have travelled. We've travelled. They have studied. They studied. Okay, children? This is about the positive and how we write the positive short form. And come to the negative and negative short form. See the example, children. It is very easy, children. How the negative form write, children? Yes, subject plus has or have, not plus V3. Here see examples. I have not eaten. And in negative short form, how we write? I haven't eaten. You have not been to America. You haven't been to America. He has not seen. He hasn't seen. She has not played. She hasn't played. It has not gone. It hasn't gone. We have not danced. We haven't danced. Children, in textbook, one exercise given for you. Fill in the blanks with the present perfect form of the verb. One is done for you. I have worked today. Children, I hope you can easily write these answers, isn't it? Yes, definitely. Here, both positive and negative forms given, children. Remember the structure. Okay, what is the structure in positive form and what is the structure in negative form? Keep in that mind and write down the answers. In the negative format, how it comes. Okay, subject has or have, not plus V3. Positive form, subject has or have plus V3. Okay. And here the question format also given, children. Okay. Note down in your notes and write down the answers, children. And you want to send these assignments to your class teacher or subject teacher. Please note down this point. Okay. We know how much you gain the knowledge, children. Okay. My dear students, today in our class we have learned grammar part in first unit. In grammar part, apostrophe and present perfect tense. I hope you understand. Children, come to the listening part. There is a story. Listen to the following story. The story name is Ubuntu. The title, Ubuntu. What it means? Okay, let's move on the story, children. An anthropologist, someone who scientifically studies humans and their customs, beliefs and relationships, created a game for the African tribal children. An anthropologist, someone who scientifically studies human and their customs, beliefs and relationships, created a game for the African tribal children. Here in the beginning of the story, what it tells? An anthropologist. What is the meaning of anthropologist? Who is an anthropologist, children? Do you have any idea? Okay. We know about anthropologist. Here I am showing the pic of anthropologist. Who is an anthropologist and meaning of anthropologist. Okay. Note down in your classwork, children. Children, note down the definition of an anthropologist. Here you are seeing the pics of an anthropologist. What they are doing? Observe carefully, children. An anthropologist is a person who studies various elements of humans, including biology and culture, in order to understand human origin and the evolution of various beliefs and social customs. Once again, I repeat, an anthropologist is a person who studies various elements of humans, including biology and culture, in order to understand human origin, evolution of various beliefs and social customs. Okay, children, I hope you note down in your classwork. Then here these anthropologists are doing like this, children. But in our story, what is the connection between and what is the meaning of Ubuntu and what anthropologist is doing there? Okay, we don't know all these things. Let us move on to the story Ubuntu. Okay, children? Here is our story Ubuntu. Open the textbook, children. Listen carefully. An anthropologist created a game for the African tribal children. What here anthropologist doing, children? He created a game for the African tribal children. Particularly here mentioning the place where African. For those people, for those children, tribal children. Tribal means hilly, those who are living in hilly area. And what type of game he created? Let me go. And before I ask a question to you, children. Yes, everyone like to play games. Yes or no? Isn't it? Yes, everyone. There is no age limit to play games. In childhood days and nowadays at present in our schools we used to play games. And what type of games do you like to play, children? Once you imagine, once you recollect your memories. Yes, in our locality with our neighbors we like to play running race and hide and seek, then caroms, skipping, then gilli danda. Like that we play games. Yes or no, children? Yes. And here what anthropologist doing? Yes, what the story? He placed a basket of sweets near a tree. In basket he filled with the sweets and he kept near a tree. Where he kept, children? Near a tree. He put that basket near a tree. And here anthropologist giving instructions to children. Children, stand 100 meters away. He placed a basket of sweets near a tree and made the children stand 100 meters away. That means he instructed the children to stand 100 meters away. Then he announced that whoever reaches first would get all the sweets in the basket. Wow! Really wonderful game. What he is saying to the children? Yes, what he announced, ma? Yes, whoever reaches first to that basket, that means tree, would get all the sweets in the basket. That means they will get all the sweets. They can take the sweets. And he announced like that. Then everyone interested to play game. Yes or no? Yes. If you are in that position, what you do, children? Everyone come forward to play that game. Here, children, anthropologist arranged all and he given instructions to African tribal children, and here everyone is ready to participate in that 100 meters running race. Yes. And whenever we start any game, what we say? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Like that. Here anthropologist, what he say? Ready, steady, go. After ready, steady, go, they want to start the race. 100 meters race, running race. And here anthropologist said, ready, steady, go. Do you know what these children did? Children, can you guess what these African tribal children did? Anyone expect? Anyone imagine what they did? Come here to our story. They all held each other's hand. They all held each other's hands, ran together towards the tree, divided the sweets equally among themselves, ate the sweets and enjoyed it. When the anthropologist asked them why they did so, they answered, Ubuntu. Children, how children are great. See, they didn't participate individually. They all stand in a one row, one line, and they held each other's hands and ran together. They ran together at a time. All African children, tribal children, ran together towards the tree. That means how they we can see the unity of, among themselves. Yes or no, children? Yes. And what they do, at a time they reach the tree and they hold that basket of sweets and divide the sweets equally among themselves. Among themselves means among the African tribal children, and ate the sweets and enjoyed it. All the sweets are distributed among themselves and ate the sweets and enjoyed it. Then when anthropologists asked them why did they so, here anthropologists little bit confused why these children did like this and why these children did like this, and he can't understand. And he asked that African tribal children, and what they given answered ma? Yes, they answered Ubuntu, which meant how can one be happy when the others are sad? Ubuntu in their language means I am because we are. Children, the meaning of Ubuntu is how can one be happy when the others are sad? By this race, children, according to the instruction, only one will win the race and one will get that basket of sweets. But here, if one will be happy and the remaining people are sad only, no? Yes, they didn't get that sweets and they feel unhappy. And they discuss among themselves and they did like these children. How these children think a lot, think greatly. Yes or no? Means here they don't have any selfishness. Yes. See, that means everyone want to win in that race. Everyone will enjoy. That means if everyone will reach that tree at a time, everyone, that means win only. Not one only, everyone. That means all children win that race. Why? Means they reach that place at a time. So they are all happy and they take their sweets and they distribute it among themselves and they ate and they enjoyed it. See children, that means in their language Ubuntu means I am because we are. I am. Yes, here I am. Why? Because we are. We means all people, not only one for the sake of one, for the sake of whole. Okay, my dear student, what is the moral of this story? Yes, let all of us always have this attitude and spread happiness wherever we go. If we develop this type of attitude, children, if we show this type of attitude, everywhere we spread happiness, children, everywhere. Yes, if we distribute sweets among all the children, so they are enjoying and they are happy. If one will win the race, what will happen? Only one will be happy. But here all are happy. So please follow this type of attitude and develop this type of attitude, children. Okay, it will be good. And now a small assignment for you children. Here we have 5 questions. Answer the following questions regarding this story. Based on this story, here 5 questions are there. Write down in your notes and with the help of the test book, you can easily find out the answer, children. Okay. First question. Who is an anthropologist? Second question. What game did the anthropologist plan with the basket of sweets? Third question. What instructions did the anthropologist give to the children to do? Fourth question. What did the children do on hearing the anthropologist instructions. Fifth question. What does the word Ubuntu mean in the African tribal language? Okay, children. Thank you one and all for giving this wonderful opportunity. Once again, thank you very much.